All right, guys, welcome back for our final lecture for this unit, Unit 3, Discussion 4, Extinction and Continental Drift. So extinction is defined as the death of all members of a species so that none are left alive. And what this really is talking about is that they're gone in such a way they're not coming back. Mass extinction is when we have a widespread, rapid decrease in species on Earth. So this is different than just one species dying out here or there, or even a couple species in the same area in response to, an earthquake or a mass fire or something like that. A mass extinction is a huge loss in species, kind of like what we see during an ice age or when we see the big changes in eras. If you think back to when we talked about when our atmosphere changed and trees came around and there was that huge temperature drop and the change of oxygen and carbon, we saw a lot of mass extinctions in those events. When we talk about extinction these days, we're typically talking about human impacts, though. So, human impacts can be due to many factors. We influence habitat destruction through pollution or clearing land for farms and cities, hunting, climate change, invasive species. So, that's when humans like to take different things that they find around the world and take it back home. And sometimes, unfortunately, that's not good for the native ecosystems. And then also just spreading diseases in general. That being said, though, extinction is a natural process. When an animal is no longer fit for their environment, or rather, when an organism, they must either relocate, adapt, or die. So, there are times when an organism goes extinct because it no longer fits the ecosystem it's in and can't get to a place where it does fit. Again, when we talked about that change in organisms after the phytoplankton came around and trees and an oxygenated atmosphere, a lot of single celled organisms went extinct because they couldn't adapt to that new environment. All right, so we're going to wrap up with continental drift. So we've talked briefly about continental drift when we talked about biogeography. And remember, continental drift is the movement of the Earth's continents relative to each other, specifically on their plates. And then plate tectonics is the geologic process that explains the movement of those crustal plates. If we have time, we'll model this together in class, but if not, you can check out the section in the book. And that is actually the end of Unit 3. Thanks, guys.